Basically our day starts when we get in. We check what we call the job sheet, which is just a list of all the jobs that are going to be done that day. And we'll be assigned 2, 3, 4 of those jobs. Each of those jobs, because they're obviously different in different places, we set our day up around how you have to get to each job. You know, we might have one in Cessnock, we might have one at the Bay, we might have one at the lake. So you just work out which way you're going to attack the day, logistically. Then you just go out there and do it. And the beauty of the job is pretty much once you're in the car, you're your own boss. It's you and the journo making the decisions for that day, and it's the autonomy of the job that really gives you that little buzz at the end of the day, because when you see the story go to air, it's your story. You've had input from the talent, obviously, but the way it comes together, it's all you. When I first started, I was literally one of the first tape editors in what we call ENG news gathering, which is just electronic news gathering. I was one of the first tape editors. We'd just come off film, so I've seen multiple format changes, I've seen multiple camera changes, I've seen multiple technology changes. And the good part about it is news generally stays at the cutting edge of that sort of technology. We use very technologically advanced cameras, the equipment that we use, we're getting more into the social media side of it, the web. I've been doing this for an awfully long time, and I enjoy every day simply because of the wide variety of things you get to do. There's so many things out there that we cover, not necessarily on a daily basis, but someone actually described it as we get to go to the most interesting thing that's happening in the area every day, and that's our job. The relationship between the journalist and cameraman is pretty much as close as I think as you can get with a working relationship with a person, because we literally spend, the car is our office. I know it doesn't look that much, but the car is our office. As soon as we leave here, that's where we do all our work. And the relationship you build up with a journalist is really important, because you've got to be on the same page that they are. You know, you've got to be thinking along the way the story's going to be structured. It's part of the job that I really enjoy. Deadlines for the newsroom, it's something, I was only talking about this to someone just the other day, and it's something that unless you've worked in a news environment, you can't really get your head around, because when people talk about deadlines, they might talk about, I've got to have this ready in a day, or a week, or a month. When NBN News talks about deadlines, we're talking about, are you going to have that story ready in 30 seconds, or a minute? And if the story isn't ready, we can't just go to an ad break. It's not like the movies. If you don't have that story ready, the producer A is going to be having a heart attack. You're going to be in so much trouble because it's not there. All of a sudden, you've got a minute and a half's hole in the news. You know, when you've been doing it for a reasonable amount of time, you know how long things take. And if you've got a story that you're starting and it's got to be finished in 10 minutes, then if you know that story is going to take 15 minutes, then you've got to tell someone straight away it's not going to be ready. But if you know you can do that story in 10 minutes, you've got 10 minutes, you know it's going to be tight, that's part of the fun. So now we're in the edit booth, and we're cutting the story that we shot this morning. This is the night story we went out on, and like I said before, even though we do night stories all the time, this one was different. We got to talk to Willie Mason and a few others, so yeah. The cutting ratio to what we shoot and what we use is just amazing, and I guess it's one of those good things about the web now that we actually get to, we might do a 5-minute interview with Willie Mason, but he might only get 15 seconds on the news. The good part about the web is that now that we can put the whole 5-minute interview on, people that are interested in the nights, which is a fair whack of our audience, can actually go and have a look at the whole interview. NBN, going back a fair way, was unique in that all the cameramen were editors. We were one of the first newsrooms in Australia, I don't know if not the world, but let's just say Australia, that actually had cameraman editors. All the cameramen could shoot, but all the cameramen also edited as well. I guess it depends on the complexity and how long the story goes. A normal story can take half an hour. A complicated story can take an hour. If you're really, really under the pump and it's got to be done, it can take 10 minutes. You can usually tell the ones that took 10 minutes because they're a little bit rough around the edges. We go out and we talk about what we have to shoot. Obviously, you want to get shots of the players that we're going to talk to, because we're going to talk about, you know, Willie and stuff like that. So we try and get shots of what we need for the story, then we come back here, have a look at the best shots and put them in.